actually forgot to add a specific field onto this sheet, which is this one, the 30K paid in Kindle store. I don't use this spreadsheet. I have actually a spreadsheet that belongs to the course that I mentioned, which allows me to analyze this information. So I just made this quickly over here in WPS, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, the first two columns, which are this ones, this columns, or this information that you are going to get, allows you to see if a keyword is profitable. The two other columns that are left allows you to see if the keyword is too competitive or not. These two first columns, you analyze this information inside of Amazon, and these two other ones, you analyze this information in Audible. So let's start with average BSR. What you want to have when it comes to average BSR is about 200 or equal 200 or below 200 BSR. Okay, if you have a bit more, it doesn't matter, like 300. If you have a less, better. That means that that keyword is more profitable in average. And then you want to find a few books that have a BSR below 30K, and I'm going to explain this all. So you want to have, like, you want to go to a listing where you have an average BSR about 200, a bit below or even more below than that, and if it's a bit above, it's not a big deal. And you want to find a few books that have about 30K paid in Kindle store, because that means that if you publish a book, there's a good chance that you will hit a home run, basically. And then you want to analyze the competition and see if it's something that you can overcome. Okay, let's first analyze this part. See if this keyword is profitable. So let's go over here to Kindle store. As you can see, I already have Empath. And make sure that you are in incognito mode, which I actually forgot to mention. So always do all of this analysis in incognito mode, because if you're using the normal browser, then there's Amazon will get specific information from you, and the results will be kind of based on your preferences inside of Amazon, and that is something that you don't want. So for you to do this, just go to these three dots. I'm actually using Google Chrome, and just click on new incognito window. Then just add the keyword that you got before. Okay, and as I already said, I use KDP Spy to analyze this information because it's very quickly for me to see the 20 books appearing in the first page of results. But if you don't have this, you can use, as I already said, the DS Amazon to quickly see the paid in Kindle store. You have paid in Kindle store and you have free in Kindle store. Free in Kindle store doesn't matter. What you want to see is paid in Kindle store. These are books that this ranking is based on the number of sales that these books are getting. So the higher, or actually the higher the number paid in Kindle store, the more sales it does. This book is doing pretty well. As you can see, it has 32,000 paid in Kindle store, and it's doing fairly well when it comes to selling inside of Amazon. So that is what you want to see. That means that if a book has like 2,000, that means that this, if you saw a book, for example, this is actually an audiobook. This is an audiobook also. Not sure why so many audiobooks are appearing here. But let's say that this book over here had 2,000 paid in Kindle store, and this book has 32,000 paid in Kindle store. That means that this book is selling better than this one because it has a higher ranking paid in Kindle store. Not sure how many books it would be selling if it had a ranking of 2,000, but it's a lot of money that this author or publisher is doing with their book. Okay, so as I already said, it's kind of hard for you to see all of this information and do the average if you don't have KDP Spy. That is why I use KDP Spy, because it makes the process a lot simpler. Basically, what you would need to do is sum up all of this paid in Kindle Store ranking, sum it up, and then you would want to divide it by the number of books appearing in the front page of results, which are about 20, and you would get the average BSR. But since I use KDP Spy, I can get the average sales rank over here very quickly. And it is about 213 average BSR. That is quite a pretty good BSR. And also make sure, if you've seen this listing like this one, free in Kindle Store, make sure to actually remove it, because it's affecting your BSR, which probably is affecting mine at the moment. Let me see if I can find this book over here. Actually, I think it's not appearing, or it's over here. It's actually affecting my BSR. So it's a bit more. You want to remove all of the free books. You don't want that one, because what you want is the paid in Kindle Store. As I already said, paid in Kindle Store is basically the ranking given to the book depending on the number of sales that book has. The more sales a book has, the higher is the paid in Kindle Store ranking. So this means that in average, these books are selling fairly well inside of Amazon. So what I do is I'll go over here to WPS, put 24 over here, and then I'm going to do 30K and see how many books have about a paid ranking of 30K. If it's a bit above, not a huge problem. Like this first one, it's a bit above. It's not a big deal. This one is selling fairly well, and let's see how many books are selling pretty well. This first one is selling well. This one is 35K. I wouldn't count that one. This one is selling also very well. This is the free one, and this is also selling very, very well. This is selling amazingly well. This one is also selling well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 below 30K, and that is a pretty good indication that people who are publishing books under this keyword are doing pretty well. There are 5 books under 30K. That means these books are selling very well inside of Amazon. So first we analyze the average BSR to see if there is an average that is about 200, a bit above 300 is not a huge deal, but if it's below 200,000, BSR, then better. That means in average those books are selling better. Then you want to find a few books that are basically hitting home runs, and you want to have at least about 3 books that are below 30K. If you have more, then that means that there are more books that are doing very well inside of Amazon. So based on this analysis, I can see that this is a profitable keyword. This is a profitable keyword. It has a good average BSR and has a couple of books that are below 30K paid in Kindle Store. Now, if you would do this manually, what you would need to do is basically, that's why I use KDP Spy. Basically, what you would need to do is sum up all of this paid in Kindle Store rankings, and some of them you can actually, this is an audiobook, but some of them you can't actually see, and you would sum it up, remove the ones that are free in Kindle Store, and then divide it by the number of books that are paid in Kindle Store, so you can get the average, just like over here, done in the software pretty quickly. So that is what you would need to do. And yeah, now let's see the competition. Actually, what I do is I first see the profitability. I see that it's a profitable keyword. If the keyword is not profitable, then it's not even that worth seeing the competition, because it's it's not worth it. And now let's go to Audible, because as I already said before, for you to see if keyword has too much competition, you go to Audible. Okay, too much competition or not much competition. Let's go to Empath. So the number of results is 629. That's quite a lot of results. What you want to see is about below 100, or between 100 to 300 results is pretty good. Okay, if it's below 100, even better. That means that you have less books that you need to compete with. And actually so in this case we have 629. That's quite some books. So I'm just going to put some information over here. So over here, the first one is to see if the book is profitable. You want to have an average about 200. If it's a bit above, not a huge deal. 300, 400, it's not that good. But below 200, even better. Then you want to have about 3 books that are below 30K. If you have more, better. Okay. Then you want to see the number of audios that are appearing, and you want to have about 100 results. If you have less, the less better. But you also don't want to have like way too less, because probably that is just a book that people aren't interested because there's no competition. So you want to have like 100 to 300 results over here. I mean, a bit above 300, it's not a huge deal, but 600 is quite a lot. And over here, I'm going to show you what you need to do now. So over here, you just get the number of results, and then you want to see the number of books that have about equal to 100 reviews or above 100 reviews. Because most likely, if they have like 100 or above 100 reviews, then most likely those are books from authors, and it's extremely hard for you to compete. And what you want to find is about 3 to 6, I would go from 3 to 7 books that have 100 or above 100 reviews is about good. But more than that, then it's way too competitive. So let's see the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. You got 14 books over here. Then that means that it is a lot of, it's a very competitive, I mean, it's a very competitive keyword, and most likely many of these books are from authors inside of this empath title or keyword. And you may struggle to actually rank your book well. I'm not saying for you to not give a try. It might give a try, it may work, but there's definitely competition over here. That is for sure. It is, based on this information, you can see that yes, it is a pretty profitable keyword based on this first information. And based on this second information, you can see that there's a good amount of competition. Now, by no means I'm saying that if you published a book for empath, it wouldn't work well. It could work well, but you should expect competition. So if you can find a keyword with less competition, especially when you are starting out, is just better. Actually, I was kind of tired, so I'm just getting a bit repeating myself. So let's go to the second keyword and let's do the same process again. Let's try negotiate for beginners. I'm not sure if that exists. I'm just quickly analyzing and see if this is a thing. I mean, negotiate is definitely a thing. I'm not sure if people are searching for negotiate for beginners, property management beginners guide. Let's try over here and see. I'm not sure if people are searching for negotiate for beginner. They may not be searching for it. Okay, actually I have a good example over here. So what I would do is I would quickly go over here, and you can see that, yeah, this doesn't look good. Okay, you can quickly see that the average sales rank is way above. There's no book that is doing well over here. But let's just add this information so you can get the idea how this works. So 348 or whatever it was, 0, and you have one book as a results ineligible, as you may see, and yeah, none of them have 0. But you can see the difference. I mean, this is just not good. The keyword is not profitable. And as I already says, you always want to have some competition over here in Audible, because if you have very few books over here published inside of Audible, then most likely it's not something that people are searching for inside of Amazon. It's probably not something that is that profitable. Both things kind of work together. That doesn't mean that negotiate is not a profitable keyword. Let's actually try it and see. Negotiate. And see what we get. It might be quite different. It's a bit better, as you may see. It's a bit better. It's a bit better, but I don't like this. I honestly don't like this that much. It doesn't seem that good. So yeah, let's try another one. Let's try Wicca. I like this one. I think this is seeing things related to witchcraft or something like that. Let's get to Wicca. Let's go over here. I'm just using KDP Spy because it's just faster. I mean, you can do this manually, but for the purpose of the video, it would be very time consuming. So let's just do another keyword. And history of witchcraft in England. So let's see over here. I would actually history of witchcraft in England. I would actually remove this result because it doesn't seem like for some reason this isn't doing that well. Let me see. No, this book is not doing that well. But I would just remove this book because it doesn't seem that related to Wicca. And it's kind of affecting the results over here. But as you can see, now I get a better average BSR of 213, which is pretty good. But the only reason why I removed this title over here is because it doesn't seem that relevant to Wiki, even though it's the history of witchcraft, but it's not something that people are searching when they are searching for Wicca. So that is something that you should also do, is just remove titles that aren't that relevant. So I remove this one, and I have this BSR, which is pretty decent, 213. And now let's check, see the number of books that are below 30K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are this all paid in Kindle, sir? Because sometimes this thing actually has. This is not. This one is appearing over here. Let's see. Free intuition quiz is not that relevant. Intuition quiz. So it's actually affecting the results. So I'm going to remove also, because it's free. It doesn't make sense to be here. And actually there's a lot of free books appearing in the front page. I'm not sure why that is happening. It's not common for Amazon to add free books to the front page of results. Let's remove this one. So that actually affects the rankings. And the other ones are all paid. So you need to be cautious about removing first books that aren't relevant, because that may affect the average BSR. As I did, I removed this one because it didn't seem that relevant, and also remove the ones that are free because you want to get the average BSR from the books that are paid in Kindle Store. So now we have an average BSR that is a bit more than the one I actually had it before. And let's see how many books I have now that are below 30K. We have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's change that information. We got, this is 30, let me see, 37. And we have 6. It's 6, right? I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it had it over here, but it's 6, yeah. Okay, it's 6. Now we need to see the competition. So we have 518 results, which is a bit way too much. But let's see the number of reviews. We have this one, which is above 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that is a bit too much. Okay, so that is weak. I mean, it's definitely a profitable keyword. It's a profitable keyword. It seems a bit competitive, and it doesn't mean it wouldn't work, but you should expect some competition over here. So basically, I would continue searching. I'm not going to do more because otherwise it's way too much time consuming to do all of these keywords, but I guess you get the idea. So I'm just going to quickly review everything. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to do a listing of keywords that you find in the best seller listing of Amazon in a particular niche that you would like to get into, or a niche that is profitable. You do a listing about 50 to 100, and that gives you a good number of keywords for you to start analyzing. Then what you want to do is, first you want to see if a keyword is profitable, and second you want to see the competition of that keyword. So you want to go to each keyword then, and you want to see first the average BSR. As I already said, you can do it manually. If you do it manually, you need to sum all of this rankings paid in Kindle Store, and then you need to divide by the number of books that are paid in Kindle Store. And the thing that you want to remove is all of the books that are free in Kindle Store, and the few titles that appear that sometimes they appear for awkward reasons that aren't relevant to the search or to the keyword that you inserted to analyze. And you want to have about 200 average BSR. If you have lower, the better. If you have a bit above 300, pretty decent still. 400, not that good. And even above, even worse. Then you want to find a few books that are selling pretty well inside of that keyword. If you have about 3, great. 2, not that good. 2 books that are below 30K, still there's potential. I'm not saying that there isn't. If you have 0, not that good. That means that very probably there's not that much potential. If you find about 3 or more, great. That means that there's potential when it comes to that keyword. Then you want to see the competition that you have for that keyword. You want to get about 100 results. If you have a bit lower than 100, great. If you have like 50 results appearing instead of Audible, great. If you have 50 appearing over here, great. If you have a bit more, 100 until 300 results, pretty good. More than 300 results can get a bit hard for you to compete against those books, okay? Also, you don't want to go to a listing and you see about 2-3 results If you see 2 or 3 results over here, 2 or 3 books appearing over here, then most likely it's not that profitable, that keyword. Most likely, in my experience, often the case it's not that profitable. Otherwise, you would have a bit more competition. And then you want to see the number of books that have 100 or more reviews. This gives you an idea if you have a lot of authors publishing books for that keyword or not. You want to have not way too many authors, because that makes your job as a publisher way too hard for you to compete for. So basically that is what you do when it comes to this. You see first the profitability and then the competition.